So one thing I'll miss about being a Sunnyside wrestler is going to tournaments and just like cheering our teammates on and having a fun time. You know, it's kind of like a brotherhood.
Voy a extrañar mucho a mis entrenadores, a los profesores que me han ayudado mucho en las clases. Todas las personas aquí en Sunnyside han sido muy buenas conmigo. Voy a extrañar todos esos detalles lindos que han tenido conmigo.
One thing I'll miss is probably going to practice and just getting better and all the good times we had at tournaments and stuff.
Just being in the room, being around, you know, that atmosphere, just getting better every day, you know.
My time as a Sunnyside wrestler, something that I'll miss is just hanging out with all my friends, going to tournaments, winning tournaments, and just making lots of memories.
Going to the practices right after school.
Being able to roll around with the college coaches and rapina.
One thing I'll miss about being a Sunnyside wrestler is the bond you made with people, the bond you made with your teammates.
The one thing I'll miss is just the brotherhood that we had and just all the fun times we had.
Just spending time with the team, going out of town and the long road trips, just messing around.
I plan on going to Pima and becoming a dental hygienist.
En estos momentos todavía estoy pensando porque tengo muchas propuestas, muchas universidades quieren que compita por su equipo de lucha libre y todavía no tengo una decisión, estoy pensando.
Attending Briarcliff in Iowa.
I'll be at the U of A next year.
Well, my coach made a big emphasis since we met him to continue our education, so it's going to get us farther in life.
I'm going to be wrestling in college.
After high school, I'm gonna go to Pima, study to be a pharmacist, and then hopefully I could work part-time, hopefully like at a gym.
Kenny, what's your one? I want to wrestle in college.
Plan on going to school still and furthering my education as much as possible.
Showing up to practice.
Creo que los más jóvenes, los niños más jóvenes de Sunnyside vienen con mucho talento y que van a seguir los pasos de los equipos anteriores, de años anteriores, que pueden seguir siendo los campeones de estado.
Stay on top of your grades, go hard in the wrestling room, go hard in the weight room, don't miss a day, and listen to your coaches.
A message that I'm gonna leave to all the young wrestlers is having fun, believing in the coaches, and everything will work out.
Stick with it. It gets hard, but you'll get better along the years. So.
Try not to miss practice. Have fun and give your all every time you're on the mat wrestling.
Just to keep at it, even though like it gets hard sometimes. It's for the betterment of you and the sport.
No matter what happens in the beginning of the season, it doesn't matter because at state, everybody's 0-0.
You know, hard work pays off. You know, I came into that room, you know, not being one of the best wrestlers. I came out of state champs, so just stick with it. You know, when it gets tough, you know, you'll come through.
So, agent shows up to practice, and I think it was a Saturday, and he tells us that he has a hurt elbow, but he didn't want to tell us why. And later on, he tells us that he hurt his elbow at Get Air. I thought that was pretty funny.
Cuando llegué de Cuba, cuando llegué el primer día aquí, que le dijeron a los entrenadores que yo era buen luchador, me pusieron a luchar contra Will, un luchador muy bueno de esta sala, me pusieron a luchar contra Joaquín, otro luchador muy bueno, contra Jesse, Rico. Querían matarme, entre todos querían matarme ahí ese día.
Probably this year, when we went and wrestled Safford, I had to wrestle a real big dude and I ended up pinning him, so everyone went crazy.
funny moment that I had this past season was seeing Mundo at Rio Rancho, another kid from another team. They got into a scrap on the middle of the mat, so that was pretty funny. We all got well, so that was fun.
My favorite story is my favorite memory is when I was at Flowing Wells and I lost to a kid really bad, and then I seen him in state and put him on his back.
My favorite moment, right away, winning our 31st state title. Because we were on drought, and just, there was so much emotions knowing once we locked it in. Because it wasn't locked in from the start. We had to fight for it, and at the end, everybody was just so happy, hugging. I cried tears of joy. It was amazing.
My freshman year, one of my friends, his name's Ivan Tenna, he left his phone at McDonald's, and we left without permission. We walked across the freeway and got his phone, then we came back and we got stopped by Leon to get picked up, and yeah, we didn't hear the end of that.
Winning state, and then, you know, knowing I'm leaving high school 3 rings.
Probably my favorite story this year was when our 220 pounder Mundo got into like a bit of an altercation in New Mexico.
It was a good season, up and down at times, and not from a performance or results standpoint, but from more like a lot going on, injuries and shuffling of the lineup, and I'm just really proud of the guys. We had a good season. We have a great coaching staff, and just overall, you know, winning the state championships by over 100 points is incredible, and going undefeated again and taking care of business is good. And so let's just keep it rolling. Yeah, this senior class is special, and you say that every single senior class is special, but this one more so. I've got some relationships. That span almost a decade with some of these kids, and just to see them go from little kid wrestlers to seniors in high school was a lot of fun, and then ultimately a lot of those seniors, they capped off their career either with a state championship as a team, or they capped their career as a state championship individual and team. So I was real happy about that. Maybe not funny or memorable stories, and trust me, there's plenty of them. I could go on and on and on. I probably will at some point when we reminisce, but a couple of things to preserve the record, and I know that this tape was probably going to be watched in 10 and 20 years, and the kids are going to show their kids, you know, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this. Is I just wanted to leave this senior class, and I want them to think about all the lessons that they learned inside the wrestling room, and just think about those almost daily, and that's going to help you in life. And I'll give you a few examples. All those kids have heard for years and years and years, if you don't get what you want, get the next best thing, and that's a life lesson. And they've also heard that attitude and effort is probably more important than anything else, and that if for whatever reason you're not feeling good, remember that the weather is the weather, and you can't control that. It's just it is what it is, and you just wake up and you adjust every single day. And so just some of those lessons and some of those things that they learned inside the room, the work ethic, and making it through hard practices is what they need to carry with them. Not necessarily the results, not even necessarily the championship, but all the things that they learned inside that room and in competition, and when we were struggling and when we were on top, and if they take those things with them, then they're going to do good things.
Let it go.